Make sure I hit the right page because, you know, got 5 of them, 10 of them. Hey! Make sure that. Can you all hear me? Good stay. Oh, yep, you can because I can hear myself. Turn the volume down. Okay, very good. Today I had somebody to help start the camera so I didn't have to do it by myself. Make sure I can see your comments on. Hi, Teresa. Oh, sometimes the iPads are like, what do I hit to see comments? So who else is tired? We've had, good morning. Are you feeling better? I hope you're feeling better. My throat's scratchy, but I know it's allergies. Branson, the cat. We have so much good content on there. And before I get started, oh, my throat is really scratchy. I haven't talked much this morning. And I haven't eaten, and I've only had half a cup of coffee. So my intent with this segment, because we're going to do birthdays this morning, birthdays and celebrations, my intent was to do 2 cards, but here's what happened. One of our segments this afternoon is repurposing something that's laying around your house. So for all of these card things, I have just been doing, yeah, I was going to take some allergy meds, but because I haven't eaten, I didn't take any, which, hi Bunky, it's probably not the wisest. I should have eaten, but I didn't get up as early as I have been waking up. Thanks, Susan. Did you see my pilier? Susan this morning has been on to show us her piles, and she said it was going to get pilier. So I asked everybody to take a picture of their pilier, and all you saw was my desk. Because here's, you know, this wasn't a planned event, really. We kind of started talking about it the beginning of the week, maybe. I don't even remember. It's kind of been a blur. But because all of our in-person events have gone away, this was a good way for us to just, I'm tearing up scraps of paper, get together. And the reason we did it so quickly is because Sale-a-bration, where you get free stuff, ends at the end of March. So we wanted to kind of take advantage of that, because if you're going to do it, you might as well get some free stuff if you buy something. So we just threw it together. So it's not like I have lots of projects, but if I was going to gather this stuff up for projects, then I felt like I could make new projects. So I literally have been, and several of us have, just making the project right before we show it. So that came to a screeching halt last night, because I can do that with cards. I can create a card and just go. Sometimes they're not as nice as I might like them if they had pre-thought to them. Oh, thank you. A second day here. Always gotta like the second day here. Hi, Brenda. But I didn't want to do that with the repurposed project, because that takes a little bit more forethought. Because, you know, we don't do that as often, and sometimes it's not just paper. So I'm really pleased with how it turned out, but that got in the way of this. So I'm going to show you one birthday card that, again, I haven't made this one yet. It's in my head. I kind of like done pieces of it, but I haven't done a completed one. And I also use the Stamparatus, which sometimes slows you down. It slows you down when you design it, but then if you start making multiples, and it makes it perfect. So I have one birthday card for you, and it could also be an any occasion card. A lot of times when people come to stamp with me, they want birthday cards more than other. So I like to have the sentiments that can kind of be generic, like just whatever occasion. So that's going to be kind of this stamp. And then I'm going to stop and clear up my piliers and make some more piles over there. My office is a hot mess. And then I'm going to try to do another birthday card, and I'll hop on and show you that one if I can. So that's what's going. Hi, Lisa. There's lots of people on. Saturdays are a good time to do these. So I'm going to use, how many of you have this set? The honeybee. And you know, we're trying not to use our die cutting things, because not everybody has a die cut machine, and you can't buy one from us right now. Soon. We do know soon. It's coming. So the dies, if you have the dies with this, are beautiful, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use the stamps. It's a really pretty stamp set. So I'm going to use this, and I am going to use the Stamparatus. And the reason is because these little flowers that come in it and the little sayings. I wanted them to be more circly. Hey, my sister's watching and she made my shirt for me. She's the queen of crickets. She can cricket the heck out of anything. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the Stamparatus just because I was able to line everything up. So now it's all going to be in a perfect little circle. And then when I put the bee in it, it's going to be right in the middle of my little circle, theoretically, because I lined it up for a bigger piece of paper. And then I decided that I wanted it to be smaller. And I didn't readjust it. So if it doesn't work, you'll get to see me do it again. So I have our prettiest cardstock, which is our shimmery white. I don't know if you can see it, but it's super, super shimmery. And it's pretty just on its own. If you know me, you know it's my favorite. And that's what I saw. I think it was Susan asked the question, what was our favorite? And it was one of those times on Facebook, you know, when you typed your answer in and then I got distracted. And later I went to change the page and Facebook's like, if you leave the page, but I was busy and I had to leave the page. But I don't want it to just be, it was kind of flat, I think. So this is our shimmery cut laser paper. So it comes in big sheets, and right now it's one of the things that you can get for free from Sale-a-bration. So if you spend $50, you get the giant pack, and it's beautiful, beautiful. I should have got them. And we bought a whole bunch of it because we did something, taught a class in Michigan, and we used it on these little pendants that we made, actually with the bee stuff. And you can see this is the one that we cut some of them and made it on these little birdhouses that you can wear as a necklace. So I just have, Serge, make the cat stop fighting, please. I don't even know. They're going to come running in here. I don't know where he is. So I have just this little piece, and I'm going to take it here. Well, they just left. And I'm going to take just a silicone sheet. I don't have a giant one like Tanya does. She has that giant fabulous one. And I'm just going to hold it here. And then these are actually one of my favorite things that we carry. And they're just little, they're called Stampin spritzers. But you can fill them with anything. So you can fill them with all things stamping. Like this has alcohol and a little bit of Sahara sand refill. And you can fill them with shimmer paints, and you can fill them with, come on girls, my mind's, lots of things. But you can also fill them with eyeglass cleaner. And before the world went crazy, I still have it, like a gallon thing of hand sanitizer, because you know that's what we clean our stamps with, our blocks with. So you can pump the hand sanitizer in here and then keep it on your desk. But since this is, I'm down to my last packet, because like my dad, who's not young, he's still working, and he came over one day and I'm like, Dad, do you have hand sanitizer? And what do I need that for? So I filled up one of these for him, but this way you can have one in all of, you know, in all of your vehicles, in all of your purse, you can give it to your dad. But you can just fill them with everything. I can't remember, I mean, when Carissa went to college, I wrote in Sharpie and she had sanitizer and glasses cleaner and whatever is liquid, because you can put it in there. And they're super cheap and they squirt well. Hi, Judy. I haven't seen you in forever. So I have this, and then I also have these that are little doilies, and I'm just going to show you both because these are cheaper if you are going to buy them, and then this is free if you want to get the free. And there's tons of stuff that you can do with them. And I'm just going to take these. We're going to lay them on here. So this is alcohol and just a couple of drops of Sahara sand because I wanted it to be light, and that's one of our lighter neutrals. And I'm just going to spritz it. Like that. You don't want too much, but because it's alcohol, it dries quickly. I hope you can see it. I'll hold it up. And then I'm going to move this. And normally you wouldn't do two. I'm just doing two so you can show that both are an option. Just one little squirt. And it smells like cleaning solution because it's alcohol. You can do it on regular cardstock too. The shimmer has a nice little coating on it, so it will move that to my pile of yours. My place wasn't a hot mess until this started, and now the mess could not be hotter. So here's this, and I'm going to show you there's a little place, just because I know what the design of my card's going to be. See this right here? it could use a little bit more. So I'm going to take this one. Whoops, they're stuck together. The other thing is if you have the this in the full sheets, then you can color them this way. I know the second time wherever it hits, it's going to be just a tad darker. There we go. Now I'll let this dry while we do the other stuff. And it's going to have a nice subtle background because I want the card to mostly be white and mostly be neutral. But now it's going to have a little bit of background to it. So, or something heavy. There is something heavy laying right there, but it's my repurposed project. And I don't want you to see that till it's time to show you those. So now let's go to the Stamparatus. So if you don't have this and you haven't used it, we do need to give out some prizes, Susan. I thought about that last night. We were supposed to give out some during Christy's live, and I was just too tired and I forgot. So today is going to be prize day. So what you do with this is you, there's paper, but I've marked just my thing because you can wipe it off. So you just lay your stamps in here where you want them, and then you close the door and it picks them up. So there's lots of tutorials, or your demonstrator can tell you how. And you can see I have these yellow marks because that's how big I was going to have my paper. So now I need to get it in the middle here, and then there's a magnet because this is magnetized. Move it up just a little bit. That was too much. I should have redone it. Now I've got Sahara sand all over my fingers. I should have changed it, but I was only just ready right before it was time to go on, so there was no readjusting anything. I might have to get a tiny bit bigger piece of cardstock. Okay, Susan, I'm doing the same thing that you did. We need Tanya. She's the one that tells us when we're directionally challenged which direction we need to go. So I need to move it down. We also can't tell on camera which way we're supposed to move stuff. Poor Tanya, she has to always help us. You don't do the opposite thing very well. There, I got it. So then you just take your ink, and I'm just using black. And you just ink this. And then you just close the door and press. And so if you wanted to make, now if I was going to remake this before I moved to this paper, I would just take a blend and I would kind of mark off the corners. And then every time you could just put it back in the same spot and not have to take so much time trying to figure out where to put it. But it's great for then making, like if I wanted to make this card, because the there's a saying that says, thinking of you, sweet friend. So you could make this right now and give it to a ton of people. But see, it stamps perfectly. And especially when there's words, and especially when you're trying to get these to line up to be a pretty perfect little circle, this is the way to do it. Then you don't have to stress and have things be a little bit off. And then I'm going to get my B, which is on the other door, because there's two doors, so that way the things can match up. And now my B is going to be right in the center. I want it just a little bit darker in the middle. So you can re-ink or whatever. And then if you had something, a third thing, like there's another bee, there's the beehive. Like I thought about stamping the beehive in a really light yellow, or even in Sahara sand. I could mount the beehive there and have it positioned where I want, and then stamp with that. But I decided less was more, which isn't often for me, but you know, I've already spritzed the card. Hey, Riss. Hey, Teresa. So that's it for this. This is the reason I have this in here, because these are kind of dirty. You just wipe them off with your chamois. So I debated whether to just leave this because it's pretty. See how it gets a nice perfect circle stamped that way. but I decided it needed just a hint of color. I was kind of going for the vintage feel. So I got 3 of my watercolor pencils because I'm a big fan of those. And I picked crushed curry for the yellow and then an olive and basic gray. And I thought those stayed kind of in the sepia tones. So I'm going to press kind of hard here on my B. I know you can all hear my husband downstairs in the kitchen, even though they think, all of our husbands do, that the noise they make in the house when we're on camera can't be heard. So I'm pressing kind of hard on the B so I can use the same color on the flowers and not press as hard. I hope you can see it. This is why my preference for video is a little bit better, because I don't have Christy or Teresa's fancy little camera things where they can zoom in. Every time I watch them, I get camera envy, or app envy. I think it's an app. And I do think that I need to learn what they do. So perhaps next week that will be a goal for me. And then this is the olive. And again, I'm just pressing kind of hard over the leaves. At least he's working. Hey, I think he's filling up cat food stuff. And then with the gray, at first I didn't use any gray, but if you can see his wings, when the other stuff has color, I felt like he needed a little bit of color or else he looked empty. No, I think he's filling the cat food. I think he's already eaten. So I'm pressing as little as possible because I don't really want to cover up the stamping. I just want to color in where it's still obviously just vanilla. So now it has like a sepia tone to it. And now to just blend it a little bit and give it a little bit of shimmer, because we like some shimmer, I have our Champagne Mist shimmer paint. And an empty Wink of Stella pen. You could just use a paintbrush if you don't have one of these, but if you have an empty one of these and you just pop the lid on, then it's the perfect paintbrush for this because it never will dry up. And so I'm not going to do his wings, but I'm just going to go over the parts that have the yellow. And it works just the same as if you were using a blender pen. So it just kind of smears it a little bit, but when it smears it, it also makes it shimmery. So I don't want the card, because the shimmery white cardstock has a little bit of shimmer to it. And like I said, I was going vintage, so I don't want it to be sparkly. I just wanted it to have a little bit of shine. And I'll take a picture of this so you can kind of see it a little bit better up close. Hi, Debbie. I liked your video, and I liked that you had a cameraman. And then, because, you know, I didn't have this the right size, I'm going to slide this in here and just take a little bit off the top because it's not quite there. That's so much better. I'm going to use this saying out of the set that says, celebrate every moment. I don't have the stickers on this set yet. I don't like to put the stickers on as much when I use this set with the Stamparatus. They're a little bit harder to get off. I don't know if other people find that. This is just some scrap shimmer white. And this is our punch that comes in a punch box. And I was going to look up the name of it, but I didn't. So I'm not sure what it's called. But you just line it up in there and punch that. And now let's just stick it together. There's this over here. Now it's dried flat because I just had it. And you don't need something super heavy. This was just a pack of note cards and envelopes because, you know, right now half my studio's on my desk. So here, now that it's dried, it has that nice little vintage thing. A vanilla shimmer. Yeah, it's just called it's shimmery white. But I put the spritz on it, so it's darkened it up a tiny bit. It's not, the shimmery white cardstock's not white and it's not vanilla. It's like right in the middle of the two of them. It's my favorite color because it's not bright white and it's not got that manila kind of tone to it. It's right in the middle. It's a pretty color. So I've got this little piece of black that I cut, which is now going to also be too big because I just trimmed the other things. We'll just trim it with a little tiny paper trimmer, which this little paper trimmer is my favorite. And it is free right now if you sign up to become a demonstrator. So if you've seen a whole bunch of stuff that you want right now, you could just ask whoever it was that invited you to this and gave you your code how to do it, because you get a ton of stuff right now, including this for free. And when your table has been covered in all this stuff, then there still needs a little bit more off. I could make I could never buy white or vanilla and always just have shimmer white, and I would be fine. See, this is nice for those tiny little cuts, and it's nice for your tiny little space that you have left on your giant table. So let's stick this. I thought about some ribbon or some of our linen thread, but I didn't bring it over here, so we'll see if we think if it needs it. It might not. Or how about some of this? Because I can reach it. It's a very vanilla. No, it needs some more color. What do y'all think? That's what happens when you don't make a card beforehand. Let me stick this on here. And then I've got these, which are, you can see if they come with the bird ballad sweets, because at one point I cut these out and I didn't use them, and I thought I would save it for later. Now it's just become a decoration, and it's way too, so I'm going to pull the flower out of this. I'm going to stick that there so it kind of goes with the, let's see how we want to place it. I'm going to put this on. I need some glue dots on my very messy desk. There they are. So these are just tiny little glue dots, and you just press the element onto that. Because I thought about putting that there originally, but I didn't have a punch that really fit this size of saying. So I knew it was going to be too big, but then that makes it perfect. No, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to add the ribbon. I kind of like it. Serge, what are you doing? Can you all hear him? He has headphones on, I can tell, because he's not answering me. He's just making all kinds of noise for us. Pop this up. I kind of like it. It's simple and it's sweet. And then just one more touch, because it's super cute. I'm going to take the other little bee that comes in the kit. And I'm just going to stamp it on the inside. I like it. I don't think it needed the ribbon. It was a less is more. And it kind of shows off the background. It doesn't get lost. And I'll take a picture of it, and I'll post it. I don't know what he's doing down there, but I know he has his headphones on because he's not responding. He doesn't like to listen to the stamp lessons. So that's what I have for now. I'm going to clean up this and make another little piley and come back, because I had 2 cards in mind, and I do have little piles of stuff to use them. I just didn't have time to even come close to getting them done. So I don't remember. If you're one of the girls that's helping do the party and you're going to go live, you can either text me or put it over on the project page so I don't go live on top of you. But I can't remember right now if anybody else is ready to go live. If somebody is and you're watching now, you can just tell me. Thanks, Lisa. This is a fun, super fun set, and it'll be timeless because bees and the sayings and the font, all of it's timeless. And it's nice that you can get that beautiful laser cut shimmer paper. If any of y'all have a card or anything that you've made with that paper, besides the tiny little piece that I could show you on there, I do have more. But that's it for now. I'll be back in a little bit. Bye.